I have 6:30, so all those, at this time we'll call to order the July 13, 2026 Board of Supervisors workshop meeting. For all those who can, please stand and join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So these flags are a little sensitive and fickle, so if you can't hear us, just raise your hand. Connie's already said, you can point at the chair. If you get too close, you'll get a lot of feedback. Can't hear us. So moving on to the agenda, administrative business, there is none. Moving on to discussion items, we have vacancies in both parks and planning commission. So let's start with the parks. Bonnie, you want to add some color here?
Well, there are 3 vacancies currently, 2 on the Parks Committee and 1 on the Planning Commission. And we do have candidates for each spot on both committees, both boards. However, I was told that in the past there would be interviews conducted. And because the township hasn't opened up for submissions for either of these boards, there was discussion on potentially doing that and holding interviews prior to the appointments. So that, though, is up to the supervisors.
Yeah, I think we are allowed to make motions. I'd like to make a motion that would you do the advertising for you, or is that something you reach out to Kristen to do, or how does it
we'll advertise, we'll place information on the website, and we can also put it on Facebook and on Savvy Citizen.
That's what I was asking.
Yep.
We have a plan to implement that this week.
Yeah, absolutely.
So advertise for the Parks Committee, 2 positions for the Parks.
Correct.
And 1 for the Planning Commission at 7 days. Limited.
Yes, if you would like to set 30 days, 2 weeks, you tell me what you want.
I'd like to make a motion.
Looking at this, in the distant past, it was all hearsay.
Right.
We have vacancies. Now we want to be 2 or just one. And second, the most qualified. That's why we want to advertise and then interview.
Okay, so I make a motion that we advertise, bring it together and advertise this week, Savvy Citizen website for useful. For both positions in the Parks Committee and for 1 position for the Planning Commission, applications must be submitted by 2 5 from
So, 24.
we'll make it 24. Application must be submitted for 24th, and then we put together a schedule. Once you receive those applications from supervisors, and you review. Right, you seconds that.
Yes. All in favor, say aye.
Sure, right.
So I'm glad that we're moving it along because on the Parks Committee we have 2 vacancies and we really need help with planning for community day. So as soon as that can take place, we would really appreciate, as far as I know, there are 2 people interested. I don't think there's more than 2 at this point.
I don't believe so.
2 so far.
But
hopefully you get more than 2. And so you want is a lot of people that you can interview and ask questions.
Right, but I think we need to open up, maybe you can sit here right away. So, I'd say let's get everybody involved. I know you have people who are trying to say they're part of that. Let's give everybody a shot at it.
I just wanted to ask that we just keep it moving so we can have, because our events here is September.
You may meetings too long. People see that. That's why I'm not gonna see it.
Right.
I mean, I would expect we should be scheduling Monday, Tuesday, fall meetings. I don't think we're gonna get a ton of applications. We may need only ones that you would recommend, or maybe others, but I think there's no reason we can't touch it.
So I'm sorry, I won't be available for that following week. I'll be out of town, so.
Any other thoughts on this?
They really have to be a community member to volunteer and help with the planning.
That's true.
Yeah, that's my point. I look, I understand time is of the essence, but somebody can volunteer and still
Right, and we've
be
been.
a big contributor and not be a formal member yet.
Right. And that's why we have, there has been several people that have come forward and wanted to be, help. And,
So all in the past, drop a name, has been very active.
right, right.
I think we step with this.
Good, okay, we'll do our best to forward. I'd say that's the one. No, I don't think there's, official volunteers. We certainly, I don't.
All right, we'll take a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries unanimously. Discussion on current and future public works vehicles. So Bonnie, you had sent an email probably about 3 weeks ago, and specifically talking about the 10-ton truck requirements. So we asked Ed and yourself to come tonight with what's the thoughts behind it, what's the status of the current vehicle, what's driving the need for new ones, so we want to have that discussion. I'll leave it to whoever wants to start.
I was gonna say, Ed is the most knowledgeable about all the equipment. The only thing I will add prior to the 10-ton discussion is you have a resolution and a draft agreement for the township to rent the boom mower to Jackson. This is something that's been discussed, particularly
You said microphone, there's a microphone.
because we are intending to sell the boom mower to the COG, so Jackson is a participant in the COG. So you have that for your review right now.
And that's to rent it to them now.
Rent it to
Not
them,
the
yes,
sale. The rent.
for $2,000 a week. It will create a short-term bit of revenue.
So Ed, this is a piece of equipment we bought, how many years ago now?
So it was actually purchased about 2 years ago. We didn't receive shipment on it until about a year and a half ago. Jackson Township can't even rent one now. They used to put one in their budget to rent it. They can't rent one. They're really struggling with the reality of buying a boom mower because it just does one job. We use it for 3 to 4 weeks and then it sits. And then we use it again for 3 to 4 weeks, twice a year. I mean, it really makes sense to make big purchases like that with other townships. I thought that it was a genius idea last year. We didn't move forward with it, but Jackson's in a pinch now. And I mean, it's like a $230,000 or $203,000 purchase or something like that. Then it gets, last year we put 160 hours on it. So it wouldn't matter in 10 years if you put 1,600 hours on it or 3,000 hours. It's still going to be an obsolete piece of equipment. Why would we cover the whole cost of it? Let someone else split it with us. That's been the thought process. But this year they're in a pinch and they needed to rent one. Couldn't rent one. Heard that other townships do this pretty often, and we'll generate some.
Similar to part of the COG.
What's
Part of the COG.
Yeah, absolutely. We already do
Rentals
rentals.
one thing, sales is another.
We do rentals together with them. I mean, like
I did the same thing.
the hot box, you get it cheaper if you rent it for the month. So we got it for the month last year and split it with them.
I just looked at some, look, I know we talked about this a few months ago. The concern, at least my concern, as far as I rent equipment or I rent equipment out, is, you know, there's a deposit, there's insurance, there's restrictions on who can operate the equipment, and real quick again. So nothing about insurance coverage for the vehicle, but we have, I mean, we're talking about taking pictures and everything before we turn it over.
We actually already did that, yeah, we have all the pictures and everything, I mean, there's not a scratch on it, and, I mean, we've even talked to them all the way down to the blades, we're like, better off just buy your own blades, ones we have need sharpened already, go get your own blades, keep them, and then when it's back and forth, once it's purchased, it's gonna be the same thing, everybody owns their own blades, and there's no argument.
When are they looking to get them on?
I was gonna ask that same thing.
What's that?
Since urgency here, when do they need it?
About 2 weeks ago. But they started doing that water line, so that kind of pushed them back a little bit.
I'm just trying to get a sense, actual sense of urgency. We have a supervisors meeting Monday.
Yeah.
Do we have time to visit?
Yeah.
Supervisors looking over.
Yep.
Reach out to you with questions.
Yep, absolutely.
My input was gonna be, we just saw this, so I'd like to read through it and we can vote on it Monday.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Yep, that's plenty of time. That's plenty of time.
That is a require. What kind of vehicle is this?
It's called a boom mower, that describes.
It's a tractor with a 20-foot boom on the side with a mower. It's just a brush hog that mows the banks and
How big
ditches.
is that?
It's got like an articulating arm. And to Ed's point, the only thing it's good for is mowing sides of roads and accidents.
That's it. That's
You
the
can't
only
do
time we
right
use it.
of ways, you can't do
Correct.
anything else.
Now we already, you know, after that mower was purchased, you go to PSATs and you see some of the new equipment and stuff. I mean, for another, I think that the research should have been done from the previous employees that were here. I mean, they make equipment that's $250,000, so maybe it's $50,000 more, but it does 10 other jobs, you know. So
Are we going to sell this machine to the car?
we hope to.
What is the object, or what is the procedure to do that? How do we move forward with that?
So I've already checked with Michelle. It's perfectly acceptable for one government entity to sell this to another government entity, the COG. And I believe we've settled on approximately 190.
I think it was 185 or 190,000.
So the majority of the purchase price for the sale. Jackson is looking to budget for everything for next year. So the hope is that the municipalities who want to participate will budget for that during the budget season that we're coming up to, so that the transaction can happen at the beginning of next year.
Okay, that's good enough. Anything we can do, you know, make sure that goes through, I think would be a great idea. But these equipment we really use a couple weeks out of the year. Like, I agree with that, unfortunately, this is a bad investment. Sounds like it's a bad investment.
Yeah.
For township this size.
Yeah.
So once it's in the car, I assume we can rent it back out, is that right?
Yeah, so what'll happen is Jackson and Zelienople, it looks like the two of them will actually put money into it. The COG will purchase and the township will receive the purchase price back. But the township's share, I'm not 100% sure if we're going to get that cash or if it will be credit towards every single time that Lancaster uses it.
I have for the cash.
Yeah, I would.
I would too. I would too. I just have to see because that agreement has not. It's like barely been drafted.
I mean, it would take years.
Yes.
And the county, like, will just sell it to the COG.
Yeah.
The COG is a standalone legal entity.
It is.
And they have the money, I think.
Well,
And then,
I can see 1 year. It's, yeah, run-up fees would be 2,000 a week, 5,000, whatever the deal is.
Yeah.
But the way that it was broke down is Zelienople only mows like 2 miles.
I know.
And I don't even know if it's 2 miles, but like their percentage was so minimal. And Jackson had the biggest chunk of it. And then we were like, what, 80%, or I'm sorry, 40% or something.
I think
40-some
Lancaster
percent.
was 40, Jackson was
50-something.
55,
Yeah.
and Zelienople was 5, something along that lines.
So is the purchase price gonna be broken down by expected usage?
Yep. And then
Sounds
Yes.
fair.
they actually said, wherever you want to keep it, this is your machine, whatever you guys want to do, work it out. And we said, yeah, we want to keep it here. So every time it's used, it'll be washed, returned, serviced, and everything like that.
Okay. Yeah, I would definitely lean towards the cash questions?
All right, thank you. Good discussion.
Trucks?
Okay, so trucks, right now we have it's like a 2003 International, I believe. We have two 2015 Freightliners, and we have the 2025 Mac. In our capital improvement plan was budgeted for another Mac this year, but we were not very happy with some of the things with Mac. So we lean towards Peterbilt. They have a real nice turning radius. They make a nice smaller truck that we don't, that Max sits like a little over a foot higher than the other trucks. It's hard to load into. A lot of reasons we don't love that truck, but so that was in the budget for this year to be replaced anyways in 27. I think I sent you guys an email explaining how all the trucks in 27 are going to have new emissions, all new emissions on them. So we wanted to jump the gun on purchasing one now, and we don't pay for it until 27.
Okay, you run back for me again, I'm trying to write it down. So we have one 2003 International.
10 ton?
These are all 10 tons.
Yep.
Freightliner and Mack, right? So
Yep.
right now we have 4 10-ton trucks.
Correct.
And how many CO drivers do we have?
3.
Try to get that down. So what year are the Freightliners?
2015.
Okay, and the Mack?
The Max of 2025.
That's the white truck.
Yep. The Freightliners last year, they cost us a pretty good amount to keep on the road, but we love those trucks, so we kind of want to keep them as long as we can. It's still cheaper than buying a new truck, but the International was our backup, and it will not start with temperatures below 40. So it doesn't really do good for a backup. Yeah, like sometimes we've drug it to the fire station and pushed it in to warm it up, and then it'll start the next day, but it's not really. Yeah, it's usually put about a can of ether in it to get it going, and that's not good.
Do they have block heater?
I don't know if the International has a block heater, but we never had it close enough to an extension cord that we'd have to string a cord. It's always sitting far away from where we could put it. But correct, yeah. You could add a block heater to it too, but that truck won't go into low range. Once it's in high range, it's got a lot of electrical trouble, which, it's time for it to go. So that's what the Peterbilt would replace, would be the International. It would become one of the main trucks, and then we would have the 2 Freightliners, and one of them would become a backup.
What year's the International?
We have one International, it's an 03, and then we have two 2015 Freightliners.
So the 03 is the one that we.
Yeah.
Can we sell it?
Some
people.
Somewhere 400 or 400.
I mean, it's not, we wouldn't get much for it, but we're gonna try. We have an old fixed plow out there that doesn't angle. We would sell that with it, maybe then in hopes of getting somebody that would buy it for like a backup as well.
So say you sold the 2003, I mean, we still have 3 new relatively decent trucks, right? 2 Freightliners and a Mack.
Correct.
So I'm trying to understand why we need another truck.
Well, we actually have kicked around the idea of a 4th snow route, so hoping that possibly we could hire another full-time employee for the road department.
Would it not be better, just my question, I just don't know enough about it, so I want to take it from you.
Sure.
Would it be better to buy a 550 or a truck
So-
that I'm on seat, I'm driving?
So if you want to pull up that, that snow route that I have there?
If you want to go through any of this other stuff.
The other thing is, are we gonna discuss tonight the, winter maintenance agreement with PennDOT?
We can, because I think it ties into.
I mean, it all kind of falls into the lap here.
Is this the one you want to know?
Yeah, that's the one that is pretty ideal for us right now. But if you look, the blue route in the middle there is actually Yellow Creek. That's a state route. And 3 times this past year, I got a letter from Seneca School that his position is the superintendent I'm sorry. Director of Transportation and Operations from Tony Babuski. I got a copy for all of you guys if you want. They called us out multiple times last year because it snowed during the day while kids were in school. And PennDOT, they did good on the overnight part, but when the kids were leaving school, that's a D route to them. It's considered a D route. So that's the last one they hit.
Just to clarify, they called us out about what road,
Yellow Creek Road.
which is not ours.
Correct. They said, we have a bus stuck on the road, can you come help us?
Correct, Mr. Boozy? I'm not saying, I'm not.
He knows that it is not our road. He was calling for a favor. I mean, we can't really leave kids stranded.
And there's some, I'm sorry, I'm stealing your call.
No, you're good.
Why we would want to do this.
So why would we want to do this? So PennDOT will pay us to do it, first off. But it's 100% to keep our kids safe. I mean, if they're gonna call us out and we're gonna keep the kids safe anyways, we may as well take the money from PennDOT and do it every time.
So how much money are we talking?
It was 16.5 to do from Muddy Creek Township's line down to Swain Hill Road, which would actually come into Jackson Township for just a small portion. And then we would turn on to Swain Hill and do Swain Hill Road.
And that's for each time, 16?
No, that's the annual.
So if it snows every day, you still get 65.
No, so they also have this thing called a severe winter assessment or something like that. I have it all in an email today.
Okay.
But the last 2 years, because we've had so much snow, they just double it. You don't have to call and ask them, they just send you a second check. Jackson does Lindsay Road, because they kept getting called out for that road as well. It happened to them probably 8 years ago. They got tired of doing it for nothing, made an agreement with them, and they take care of that. So last year they get 14,000 for that road. Instead of 14,000, they got a check for 28,000. Now, if you get a winter where you have no snow at all, you made out, which we've had. And, you know, an average winter, we're probably pretty close to breaking even. But those severe winters, we really don't have much to lose because they're going to double the check if it's a severe.
You said how much to lose, that's $33,000 a year, and you're proposing another truck and a driver?
Correct. I mean, the truck would be upgraded regardless. The truck was in the capital improvement to be upgraded anyways. The whole point was they were going to replace the 2 10-tons and keep 2 10-ton routes and a 550 route. This is before I was here. They had 3 full-time employees. That's what they were going to do.
Who you say they were? Who was it?
I mean, the previous employees, the previous roadmaster,
Okay.
and the previous managers, that kind of worked for them, but, you know, we're adding housing developments onto it. And then this past year, because we utilized Kate as our part-time employee, we kept her in one of the small trucks off of the orange route that's up there. Those are all roads that we do not want to put a 10-ton truck on, because it's not only the weight of the truck that's a problem, the plows on our trucks, the plows on the 10-ton trucks are 2,500 pounds. The plow on the 550s, I mean, 700. Correct. What's that? Oh, yeah. Which is why that kind of truck's ideal for housing plans as well.
Just initially, I haven't looked at all this information. I'd love to see what you have. My initial thoughts with the additional housing plans would be to add a 550 or a similar size truck.
So,
As long as the line seat, say for Page Place would probably be great. And any other new plans we have coming in, that would just be my initial reaction.
sure. So we did kick the idea around about a 750 size, because a 550 still has to fill up after he's done with Arden, has to come back to fill up.
750 requires CDL? Pretty sure it does.
I think it does.
That's why I'm just trying to catch as much
A
as
750, you can have a gross vehicle weight of 26,000 where it would not need it. You would not need it for 26,000. 26,001, you would need it.
26,000.
So you can design the truck to be that way. But
It's loaded.
what's that?
When it's loaded.
Yeah, it'd be 26,000.
Oh,
Empty weight rate on a 750 is going to be around 17,000. So they can get 4 to 5 ton in it. Mm-hmm. The 350 can hold almost 3 ton.
Anyhow, again, just my thoughts that, I don't have enough information to make a decision, but I would think 550 is certainly much more versatile when you bring up the factory.
Correct.
And plus, it would
But-
be backup.
so-
550, right now, through 550, you have backup.
Chevy. The Chevy's a 1 ton. We do have a backup for that. It's a 1 ton.
Okay, that's pretty rough back.
But
Okay.
So,
there's a disadvantage to 550s as well. I mean, you're talking a hydraulic brake system versus an airline system. I mean, if you lose air pressure, if you're using F550 is not quite a commercial vehicle,
Right.
but you're doing commercial work with it. So if you get out there and you're 8 years into it, you come around the bend and hit the brakes, and your hydraulic line goes, you don't have any brakes. Where an airline, if you hit the brakes and an airline goes, now all you have is brakes. You can't, it takes air to release the brakes in an air. So, ideally, it would be good to change the red where it says 550 to 750 and have a 750 take care of all those housing developments and the short streets at the bottom of Scott Ridge Road. Take over Yellow Creek Road, get paid for what we don't do it every day, but in a perfect world, that's the perfect route. Right now, I don't know if I sent you the old routes.
I should scroll down. There's definitely multiple routes in here. You said.
So that one there is the straight salt routes. That's the housing plans, and that would be a 10 ton and 750 would do both of those.
So that looks like it's just garbage.
What's that one say at the top, Mike?
Snow
That's a
drift.
snow drift areas where the 10 tons are required.
Hills.
So that should be Scott Ridge, Whitestown, Stone Church. Yeah.
All right, so I think it makes sense if you guys are already plowing Yellow Creek often, and we can collect some additional money, 16,500 or 33,000 to accept the work. What would materials cost you? Minimum?
So every time a 10 ton would go out and load it, he's going to use probably, we're just estimating on this, about 4 tons for the Yellow Creek stretch.
Okay.
So that's $400 every time it would go out.
Right.
So if you get 10 winter events, 4,000, 20, 8,000.
Okay. So it makes, I think it makes some amount of sense to accept the work, keep the kids safe, expand our revenue. And let's look at how we can budget those items when we come around to budget time.
I mean, if we had an extra employee for that,
Yeah.
it's not like they wouldn't have anything to do in the summer.
You guys work your butts off. That's
Yeah.
not an issue.
We're still playing catch up, and we're okay with that.
Let's lock up the cash and then figure out what we can finance and pay for come November at budget time. Would be
And
nice, yes.
and Mike, that truck was in the budget because originally the previous roadmaster wanted to replace the 2 Freightliners with the Mack and the other new truck. But I mean, those Freightliners are they're still in really good shape. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know that they're having some electrical problems, but it's still cheaper than a new truck and a payment.
I don't agree with buying 2 of them. It's the same thing at the same time. So I wouldn't agree with them buying Freightliners. All the Freightliners are good trucks. So if we're going to do something, I would say you either sell that whole truck,
Sell the
international.
Yep.
Right?
So
Do something. You can't even really use the back. They don't have a plow fit, but or do a good.
we do have plows
It's
fit.
just single.
Everything. No, we have the plow that does all the full angle and everything for it.
Oh, you do? Okay. So you'll be able to get some money for that.
Right, but it has the ability to do that. But that's not the plow we're going to let go. We're keeping our good ones.
Let me ask you this other question about, I don't think you said plow Yellow Creek. You said you went to bus operator, you've been called to bus.
Correct. Actually, every time we've been out, it's been an icy event.
Gotcha. So
Icy.
we have never plowed. We never plowed the same road.
Correct.
Okay.
We never plowed the entire road. We went to where the bus was stuck.
Okay.
Got the
Just
bus
wanted
off
to
the
clarify.
road.
So we don't know what the cost of the unit is, right?
I can estimate, yeah, we're probably gonna
And what time of day was this?
2:30 when the school got out, 2:30, 3 o'clock, yeah.
What do we start? I know things have changed.
Well, you're talking about morning times?
Yes.
The morning time? So we go out at 4 o'clock to beat the school buses, if they need treated before the kids go. If the roads are considered impassable overnight, like they've drifted completely over, we get called out anytime.
Okay. Yeah, just there's something that you have to have arrangement.
Yeah.
The police are supposed to work.
Yeah.
So when something needs to work.
Right. But if they're on a call, sometimes they aren't able to do that.
I guess what I would like to see, look, I know you put some thought into this, a lot of thought. A couple things I'd like to see. PennDOT, we've laid it out, it's roughly $16,000. If you could estimate, it could be more.
Mhm.
If you could estimate what you think the expense would be for solar.
Use a mix or something.
So I would probably I could use a mix, they don't care. But the reason that I want to put straight salt on that is because where the red route is now, one truck does that and then goes up to Timber Ridge and Plantations. That truck will already be on that side, and the two roads that are there can handle straight salt.
Okay.
Swain Hill and
I think there's just, if you give us the documentation, obviously, what they're gonna pay us, put together an estimate.
Yep.
Some materials plus time.
okay.
You know what's a mess, you don't know what's.
Yeah.
It's estimated that we put about 800 pounds per lane mile, and it's like 11 miles. So we can definitely give you a pretty good estimate on how much it costs.
I think there's three other things I'd like to see, you guys can chime in. Just a ballpark on what you think the 2015s, the two 2015s cost us last year.
Okay.
Right? Is it 1,000, 10,000? Rough estimate. What we think we can get for the 2003 International. And then you mentioned the new emissions for 2027. What's that additional cost?
So they had already told us it was. Did he say 5,000 or 7? I think it was 5,000.
Just kind of lay that out. Again, we know it's going to be an estimate, but we're making some decisions based on that.
Just give us a number so we can make all the right decisions or make an intelligent decision from the information you have.
Any other?
Again, I don't have enough information on this. I just, off the top of my head, looking at that, I think we need another non-CDL 550 style truck. Something that, as Ed brought up, these neighborhoods are gonna get page plates. And I know we have a backup, if you wanna call that a backup, ship truck.
Right.
I would really, as our township grows, I don't think we should be backing up with a pickup truck.
Correct.
Look, you know this better than I do. You can plow Wadestown Road or Scott Ridge Special, you can plow Timber Ridge to the
Correct.
right?
Correct. Yeah, when you're tidying up the cul-de-sacs and everything, you could already be up and down Wadestown and back. The neighborhoods take a lot longer. So that's why whenever that yellow or that red route, we added Page Place in there. It's not on the map yet, but just because there's a chance that they could have that paved. You never know. And last year, what Don Rogers did at Arden, they paid us to take care of it because we didn't own it at that time. They paid us like $6,000 last year or something to take care of it. So.
And the 550 can always be used to domain, right? The best way would be to start with a good plow.
Right.
The line.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we.
Certainly, a little more now. The freight line can be a break, and actually, that's just me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's in the thought process to get another 550, but I mean, that's a 20, I want to say 17, and it has an extreme amount of rust underneath of it. So, I mean, every year we spray it with, rust preventer, and it's just.
That's Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that's right.
No, that's all I have.
Makes sense.
Thanks, Ed.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
All right, moving on to the next discussion item, and that revolves around the data and the center development. So, we're seeking a motion to approve, deny, or table to have the planning commission complete a standalone ordinance on that center development by August 25th, 2026.
I will make that motion.
Yeah, I'll second the motion to have the planning commission prepare the ordinance.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Aye, motion carries unanimously. Moving on to the next item, which is public comment. So for those who have signed in, I believe there are two, please step to the podium, state your full name. This is for residents and taxpayers only, and please try to limit the comment to 5 minutes. So first up, we have Patty Bruns.
Yes, that's me. First, I'm not myself. My grandson came in this afternoon because he was ill.
So now you are.
I believe so. So, I'm just not myself. The reason I'm here, though, my mind's on trucks also. You guys have me thinking about all kinds of things. The reason I'm here is about a month ago, we were taking a walk, and it was a beautiful day in Marine Park, and this woman turned around and she said, hey, we have done something with our grandchildren, and we did this jingle bell walk, and I was thinking, hey, wouldn't this be nice for our grandson? And it was really a good idea. So I went to Bonnie, and I talked to Bonnie about it, and she said, well, go get some prices, and this is forward to December. So I put this together, and I just want to show it to you. This is for December 5th. You guys can just pass this along. I'm trying to get this moving. My husband's going to be operated on August 27th. So it's going to be out for like 4 to 6 weeks. And this is just something for the township. I would like to do it here. It would just be a cookie walk for the kids and hot cocoa. And I've never done anything like this before. I'm a novice, and say so what I did is I went to Munch and Moose, and this girl really helped me along. She's very, very good. So there's some information in there. She knows what she's doing, and she would really help me, and I would go get sponsors, and the cost would not be totally on the township. I would be going out there and talking to people and see if we can get some more money together. So it would be December 5th, and I'm running it by you guys. And the reason I'm here tonight is because I thought if you could give me a vote on it soon, like next week maybe, so I could get moving because of the August operation coming up. So I'm just presenting it to you as kind of fast.
No, that's good.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Okay. First of all, cookies. So it's a great thing. My wife and daughter are fantastic cookie makers, and make cookies and weddings and all that stuff. So you probably have a couple
Yeah.
sponsors. My initial thought that this would, since you want to have it here, would fall under the auspices of the park.
Correct.
You're reading my mind. Pat, you want to volunteer for the first?
I have to.
Right.
I don't know, anyway.
We're going to do that with the Parks Committee, so then you know when the next Parks Committee meeting is?
It is the first Tuesday of each month. See, their hands are so full with, that's why, their hands are full. No, I didn't say anything because I feel that their hands are full with this 250th committee, getting the parks in. Yes. And I know I would have to check the calendar. Yes. For make sure there's no rentals. Correct. And I wanted to get their permission first. I've never done anything like this. So I don't know the steps. Okay. I thought I have to go and get permission first, then I would come to you. But I think I have to get their permission first. I don't know. Yeah.
Not really.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, to work with that, and when you say that,
Yes.
coordinate something, we're open to those. We don't.
Great.
I
Great.
I'll make a motion to approve right now, but I don't know.
Yeah, Patty, our community needs more
Yeah.
people like you.
Oh.
Step up. So anything from my perspective
Okay.
that we can do to set you off in the direction place, I'm all
Yes, yes, and if you weren't so involved in that, and I'd say annually, we could do it annually, do it all together. I just felt, the 250 was very, it is, it's great.
That's
Great.
September.
I can do it right.
October,
Thank
November,
you.
December.
Thank you, my phone number, thank you, and all that, thank you.
Here, I'll pull the calendar up real quick.
Okay.
Let's see. So we're talking, how much go for it?
On the left side, the arrows.
All right,
December, what did you say?
December 5th. Now, listen, Main Street on something,
Miracle on Main Street.
Miracle on Main Street is December 4th, but that's a Thursday, so this would be a Saturday. And it's 2 hours on a Saturday, and it's just to get, why should my grandson, one kid, benefit from a cookie walk when we could have the community? You know,
I think it's
so,
over there. Thank you for offering.
oh,
Currently, it's open.
okay.
This council's up to date.
Oh, thank you.
So,
Click on the rental, you're on the right tab, click on the rental tab. Blue one?
I thought they didn't all show up. I thought we knew everything showed up.
No, yeah, we'll do the, yeah, community center rental, there you go.
Looks like it's.
And it's open.
Yeah.
It's open.
There you go.
And anything I can do to help you too.
So I will coordinate with
And
Debbie Scott.
Thank
you.
thank you, I appreciate it.
No
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
And, yeah.
Thanks for that.
Continue to keep, doing other things, that would be awesome.
Thanks for your time.
You know what, I need that paperwork. That's all I have. Yes.
You put a lot of time into that. too.
Yeah, oh, listen, not just me, but yeah, then we can all do it too. Okay, thank you, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Next up, the employee leave.
On this boom tractor, I heard it was gonna go be accepted by the car.
The sale.
The sale of the potential sale. We didn't prove it, call it potential sale.
Where's this tractor gonna be stored?
Here.
What did you say here? It said here.
They said we could store it wherever we want. They said we wanted to keep it here. They said that's fine.
And, I approve of the motion for the ordinance for the data center development, as long as it withstands scrutiny and objections, as long as it's written, and I'm sure it'll be looked at. And, a little fire hall out here, I think we need a flag.
Shirley's ordered them from Bernstein's office. Since you know somebody up there, can you help her out with that? She's been calling and emailing them. Okay.
Be specific.
Okay. Yeah. She's been trying to get bigger ones, actually.
Okay.
I think it was one
Which
size.
size is that?
Yeah, just specify the size you want and it's for.
Yeah. She has the sizes and she was trying to get like one size bigger, I think, could work here.
Okay.
Depends on the pole size. She was trying to get the biggest one possible.
Yeah.
She did try to order, I think she tried to order 4 of them, Tony. It was like a month ago. Bernstein's, they'll give them to you, and she's been trying to get a hold of them.
Yeah, I noticed that a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I should just buy a plan.
There's, the one was tangled in a tree over here, so we got permission from the neighbor to cut the tree down, so, yeah. Yep.
And, I want to thank the board for approving the flagpole as a flag for the park. That was a speedy improvement. And another thing is with the EMS situation here. Early this year, or I think it was last year, when the EMS company came up and presented their concerns. There was a study done in 2005, maybe in 2008 also, by Road Counseling, and I don't think that was presented to the public, that study, and maybe we can have a discussion on that. Just doing some research, the Pennsylvania through the Shapiro administration, sort of approved a EMS, funding for, local professionals and that. I don't know if we looked into that, who looks into that in COG or,
So Harmony EMS is its own entity. So if there's funding out there, I'd be shocked if they already haven't looked into it.
but it seems like everything's going to the eastern part of the state. This is for the EMS professionals in this 26, 27 budget.
Okay.
So COG would look into that.
We have oversight of the finances, right? I would say that
Yes.
Harmony EMS is not gonna show up here because it's a privately held company.
Correct, right.
It's not public, so they're not gonna publish the information. That's probably why it's not showing up, my opinion.
Yeah, this doesn't say public, it just said
Well, so
professional.
one thing that happens, it happens in Allegheny County and it happens a lot in eastern Pennsylvania, but it really does not happen here in Butler County, is that a lot of those EMS, fire, all those departments are actually run and operated by the municipalities. They're not independent, but here in Butler County, they are. And so we do run at a bit of a disadvantage to that. They do as well because they're not receiving as much municipal funding. The Lancaster has a police department, so we fully fund the police department, but Lancaster sends funds to fire and EMS that we collect for taxes, but we cannot fully fund them, in particular because they don't just cover Lancaster Township. But in a lot of other municipalities, Allegheny County is a great example. They have their own EMS companies with their fire departments with the municipality. Butler County is just not set up that way.
With the Harmony Fire Department, in their budget, is there money set aside to assist with the EMS?
No, they're a completely separate entity as well.
Do that?
They're their own. Believe me, they have their own worries. But they're complete. It would be like asking Walmart to help Target. They're completely separate.
Yeah, I just thought that was interesting. That there's
It's a good analogy.
$600 million or whatever. Another thing that concerns me is this new 21st Century Road to Housing Act that just passed Saturday. It was a 10-day deal without being signed by the president. So it was automatically passed into law. And I guess the main thing, I don't think it's a very good bill, and I expressed my concern to Fetterman and McCormick and Kelly on that. But one thing that's bothers me is that in the act they talk about red tape, and that's local ordinances. I don't know how they're going to do it, if it's going to be mandated that they're going to come into local municipalities and tell you your lot sizes are too big, or you're not putting enough houses in, you're not putting the right type of homes in. So I think I'd like to have the board look into that. There's like 227 organizations and advocacy groups that endorsed this bill. And anywhere from the American Planning Association to even to National Housing, and a whole bunch of organizations want to come into this and either do more building, and a lot of it's going to money's going to go to the developers. It goes through HUD, it's going through the developers, then it's going to the contractor, then it's going to go to somebody else. Even though it's the bill of the act is there to help people, but how much money actually goes to help these people? I mean, it's going to get funneled down and whittled down, all that money. But I think I'd like the board to look into that and see what exactly they mean by the zoning.
What is this act called? 21st century.
The 21st Century Road to Housing Act. So it just passed, and even though it's been on the news, but there's been a lot of people who really never heard of it. Tax people, CPAs, contractors, and it came in and it seems like it's just gonna be an exciting bill, but it isn't. But there's too many organizations, pushing for this. So I think we have to look and try to protect our community on this act. And I don't know who else you talk to. But a lot of the information I got, the best website was on Senator Fetterman's website. Dave McCormick's didn't have much on it, Mike Kelly's didn't. But Senator Fetterman has a lot of information on his website. And I had contact with one of his representatives today, and he kind of reassured me that the zoning isn't going to be a mandate, but I'd like to find out exactly what they mean by that, and exactly what red tape they're trying to get out of the way. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you, Tony. That's all we have for public comment this evening. We are going to have an executive session right after this meeting to discuss a legal issue. That's a wrap for the agenda.
I think we missed an item on the agenda. I'm not sure why it's not on here. Had to go back. I'll tell you, speaking to our letter from our solicitor. And this was concerning, and this is what you said, after the workshop agenda, motions for the data center, period of minute matter, we suggest the following. I'm just going to go ahead and read this out. Assuming you guys have this, you already have it. Is there a reason we can have one on the agenda? Okay.
You didn't want, the
Okay.
agenda had already been published.
Okay, so is it an issue to add this that she recommended, or do you want to put it on Monday's agenda?
I don't think she recommended it. I think she explained the process that we have to get through.
That's the way I read it.
Okay, fair enough.
So we can put it on for Monday.
Is this the,
Curative agenda.
Yes.
is it the curative, not the,
The municipal
It would be,
curative.
says motion to approve or deny or table declaration of the township zoning ordinance for portions that are substantially invalid for failure to adequately comply with the
okay. If you want it added, we can absolutely add it.
I think what.
To, I mean, to this
Correct me if I'm
ordinance.
wrong, I think what she was saying about the curative amendment was going forward with the ordinance trumps anything we can do with the curative.
It does, correct.
So I think you can get an actual ordinance passed far faster than you can do either of those two other things.
Which, my understanding, maybe I'm wrong, is that gives us 180 days to get the ordinance. So in other words, if by us indicating this, which clearly states that if we implement this, that gives us a protection for 180 days from the data center.
But is that the curative amendment
That is
or the moratorium?
That is a curative amendment.
Right.
So,
A curative amendment, I believe, would give us 180 days from the day we pass the resolution stating that our zoning laws are deficient, is what they said. But she also indicated that there's a tremendous amount of support in Harrisburg. The House passed House Bill 2496 that places 180-day moratorium on accepting any new applications for data centers. And they passed it almost unanimously, both sides, Republicans and Democrats, and so it moved on to the Senate. The Senate has that bill to consider, as well as they introduced their own. It's Senate Bill 1346, and the intent of that bill is to put 18-month moratorium on any data centers. So the gamble here is really simple. There is a tremendous amount of support on both sides of the aisle, as well as Governor Shapiro, to get this moratorium passed and buy time for the communities who are interested. And it's as imminent as things can be that are in the Senate or the House. So the question is, do we start the process? We have three choices. Do we pass a resolution stating our zoning is not sufficient, and we use our municipal curative amendment. That's option one. Option two is we kind of go down the path that was on the agenda today, and we ask the planning commission to put together an ordinance. We consider it in August or next week. We ask them to do it. Hopefully they get it to us by August. We consider and vote on it in August. Then it goes off to the county and it's approved, and hopefully it's enacted by our October meeting. In the meantime, it's very likely that our Pennsylvania government puts in place a moratorium of somewhere between 180 days and 18 months, in which case we maintain that municipal curative amendment card for some other threat or risk that arises in the community, that we can use that to help protect and defend the community. So those are really the three choices, and those are, am I explaining that correctly?
Yeah, well, I think you're missing one choice. Is that okay, Mr. Chairman? Number one, I have limited faith in Harrisburg. Again, anything done quickly, certainly no faith in our governor, Josh Shapiro. I think it's a very simple option. If we make a motion to approve a time or table or declarations, not resolutions, it's a declaration that our ordinances are invalid, that gives us 30 days. At the end of that 30 days, then we have to make a formal action declaring the proposed curative amendment. But if we do that, the moment we make that motion, the declaration, all data center development stops. All options for data center development stop at that point. So right now, we make a motion to approve this declaration, which I thought we were going to do. That immediately stops all data center development opportunities in our township. I don't care about the states, I don't care about other townships. And then we have 30 days to think about it. And within that 30 days, we have to say, okay, we're going to pass a resolution to do a curative amendment. You still don't have to do the curative amendment, right? It starts the clock in 180 days. By that point in time, I suspect that we're given the August 25th deadline. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Dave, you speak to this, but you have, how close are you to your standalone ordinance for the data center?
I think we're off to a good start. We worked on it about a month ago. We have some things to finish. And I think, our approach was this does not have to be this super huge, all-encompassing, comprehensive ordinance. We maybe could improve it later, but at least we get something on the books that has the framework protects us.
August 25th on a reasonable date. I'm asking you.
That's a question.
It's August 25th and on a reasonable date for completion. Standalone ordinance.
I haven't been with the group for a month now. On medical leave. And I just don't know what people's vacation schedules are, availability over the next month. Summer's big vacation months.
So it sounds like we may need this 180-day protection. I'm just saying, we could protect the township tonight. We would make a motion for this declaration for the next 210 days. Immediately protect the township, regardless of what's on the Harrisburg or the Senate or the House or anything else. And as long as they come up and we pass their ordinance prior to curative amendment, we're not using the curative amendment. So, and that leaves it open, and this protects the citizens of this township. And that's an option you didn't present, and I just want to make sure we understood that there's almost no cost making this motion, and the benefit is protecting the residents of this township.
So I'll be honest, I'm not familiar with the.
Okay.
Good point.
I don't agree.
What I was listening to, but I thought our legal counsel advises not to do that.
But you should advise us not to say more on the word. I don't know, just, I think I'm going to read this real quick.
I'll do this.
It's a motion to approve and deny faithful declaration that township zoning laws, all portions thereof, are substantially invalid it says, in order uses of similar classes, proposed preparation of a municipal curative amendment for the same in order to address this regulatory gap. And proponents, please remember the refrain that any moratorium, as the clause that is in place, means clause is not a moratorium, as it only prevents other similar validity challenges during a 180-day period. The mention of the clause of freeze needs to be made since it is automatic. The formal action declaring it invalid and proposing amendment is the trigger. That's the trigger. I know we do that now. For the amendment process, it will start with 180 days. Within 30 days of this declaration, Township will need to pass a resolution specifying the invalidity issues. We should plan to do this on July 20th at your voting. And then I think that was
That's
what
what
I, 30 days. She's saying, she was assuming that this was going to occur tonight. We were going to make this motion, the declaration tonight. And rather than waiting 30 days to make the proposed amendment at July 20th.
So her response, her email, was in response to me asking how we go through this process, and that's what we choose. It clearly wasn't her recommendation. Her recommendation when I spoke to them was to start the process in-house, try to get it done by the October meeting, and see what happens with the state legislature. But this is, if we pursue that path, as you requested, a path forward, that path, these were her instructions as to how to do it.
Well, actually, my request was to do 180 days, or do a more, 180-day moratorium. She said, probably shouldn't do that, because what should we do? This is her response.
Well, we can't do a 180-day moratorium. That's not legal.
She
We
did.
can only do
we could do
a curative amendment.
So I guess where I was going off is we should plan to do this on July 20th meeting.
Okay, all right.
So can we
Just on the agenda.
put it on the 20th?
Yeah.
So can I make one clarification? In the earlier motion, where you want to direct the planning commission, you read motion to approve, deny, or table. You want to motion to approve.
Yeah.
So, okay, so, and I understand for the motion on the agenda, we're adding all three, but you are choosing. Okay, well, I just wanted, but we can certainly add that language to the 20th.
So for today,
Declaration, so we're gonna make a declaration.
we're going to discuss.
And potentially. Okay. Buddy, okay. All right, that wraps the agenda. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion. You can second it.
I'll second